You should write this down because I encourage you to look this up. I encourage you to look this up. Write this number down, 1.618 0339 887. What? I'll say it again. What did I say? 1.6. You got that? So you got that. You got 1.618. Put a zero there. 1.6180. You guys have it. Why are you sitting there complaining? Okay, so just some of you. All right. 1.6180. Do you have that? 339 887. You got it? Yeah. Let's say it together. 1.61803398887. You just wrote down the divine proportion, the number that just shows up in the creation of God everywhere. In the creation of things on earth, in the creation of buildings, structures, the number just shows up. It's also known as a golden ratio. It has to do with golden triangles. Many mathematicians were familiar with this proportion and they used it in their findings. But the one who is probably credited for discovering this number is a man by the name of Fibonacci. This number is known as Fibonacci's sequence, Fibonacci's ratio, Fibonacci's number. Now, the only reason I'm bringing up the complexity of this is because I'm in awe at the simplicity of it in the creation of the Almighty. That even those who don't believe in God have to admit this is not a coincidence that this number shows up everywhere. I'm gonna do a mathematical sequence right now, and I want you to follow along if you can. There may be those of you that already know it. You know what I'm about to say. There may be those of you that can easily follow it, even if you've never heard of it. There may be those of you that you may get lost, and that's okay. It's not the end of the world. But it may be something you're familiar with. All right, so I'm going to begin this sequence now. I'll say it slowly. You see if you follow along. This is a divine number. It's a divine sequence. 0 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 8 plus 13 plus 21 plus 34 plus 55. I'll stop there. Yo, what's wrong with Pastor? He is... Now, look at the sequence and see if you can figure something. Oh, thank you. You ladies are awesome. Now, some of you, you're good at math. You may have picked up on the pattern already. Can anyone see anything here? Raise your hands if you can see something unique about this pattern. The lover of math can. What do you see, sir?
It's a skip sequence.
He said it's a skip sequence. What do you see, ma'am?
I see a pattern of addition.
You see a pattern of addition. Anybody else see anything? What do you see, sir? My man, the previous two add up to the third. This is a Fibonacci sequence. A Fibonacci sequence. Now this sequence, you can keep on going. You can imagine how far this goes. Right? But you're going to, watch this. In this sequence, you're going to keep running into a sum. A sum that is developed by the previous two add-ins. It's just going to keep going and going and going and going. Right? Well, guess what? I don't care how big the sequence gets. When you break it down, you know what you get? 1.61803398887. That's what you get. This sequence is used in construction. This sequence is often used and the person doesn't even realize it. You find this number, 1.618, you find it in the distance, like somehow, some way, in the distance between your wrist and your shoulder. And it doesn't matter how tall you are or how short you are. You guys remember math, when you're dealing with fractions, right? It was always about LCD.
Always does that.
Use it, looks good still. Sure does. Some people still have rear projection TVs. And guess what? They still produce a pretty picture. Bottom line, this divine proportion. For example, the golden ratio has been used to analyze the proportions of natural objects, as well as man-made objects and man-made systems, watch this, such as financial markets. The financial world knows about this divine proportion. Now, where did this number come from? You mean to tell me that a chance explosion happened? The chance explosion produces order. And woven throughout the order is 1.61803398887, and it was just a chance? What are the odds of that? And yet there will be still those who will try to refute intelligent design, that there is no God. It was all evolution. If it was evolution, what does evolve mean? Does anyone know? To adapt. Okay, that's good. To adapt and then to change. To progress. So we have adaptation, we have change, we have progression. Anything else? Grow. Did somebody say modify? Continue. Develop. These are good terms that can be likened to what evolution is. How many of you are scientists? Okay, how many of you are, all right, let's qualify this. How many of you are studying to be scientists? Raise your hand. You're studying to be scientists. Raise your hand up high. I need to see it. One. Okay. How many of you are scientists? That would include doctors, those in the medical profession. You are scientists. So we have any doctors in here? We have medical doctors in here? Raise your hand. Medical doctors. Okay, you're scientists. You're scientists. All right. Do we have any self-made scientists in here? Any self-made scientists? Not even that many? What, it's just me? It's a few of us, okay. Okay. Do we have any etymologists here present? You like words. You study words. You get into the core and the depth and foundation of words. It's a few of you. Okay, can anyone tell me, in regards to evolution, with all of the words that you just threw out, are there any constants in the theory of evolution? This man says no. We've got a no here. Says there's no constants. Anyone else? Okay. How many of you have smartphones right now? Okay, just do me a favor, somebody. I don't care who it is. You already got it up?
Oh, Lord, he done already got it.
Based on, let me look at this. All right, the evolution, the process by which different kinds of living organisms are thought to have developed and diversified from earlier forms during the history of the earth. The gradual development of something, especially from a simple to a more complex form. All right, so this is a definition. All right, so even if it goes from a simple to a complex form, it could have some, whether it's in the simple form or the complex form, it could have a similar or root that is like. But my math lover here says there are no constants. Here's my thing. If we are to believe in the theory of evolution, and the universe is, what do they say, 8 billion years old? Something like that. 6 billion? Something like that.
13.7.
Yeah, there we go. That's it. Yes, sir. That's the number. As soon as you said it. Yeah, 13.7 billion. It's believed us humans, good old humans, have figured out that the universe is 13.7 billion years old. If it's 13.7 billion years old, how has this number remained for 13.7 billion years? Watch this. In things naturally made and things man-made. You would even think that in things man-made we would botch up the natural. And yet, it's still there.
Inspired.
That should be enough to make an atheist receive Jesus instantly. But yet, we're talking about Satan's hidden agenda. Here's the thing about a hidden agenda. A hidden agenda will serve two purposes. There is something right before your eyes, but you don't see it.
Come on.
It's being downloaded into you, and it's actually affecting your person. But the other thing about a hidden agenda is that right before your eyes is the truth, but you don't see it. You don't see it. The truth is right in front of one who says there's no God. The truth of God is in their face. And yet, what do? They deny it. Here's what they can't do. They can't refute it. Because when it all boils down, ladies and gentlemen, here is your simplest response to the person that wants to start a debate with you about the validity and existence of God. Your counter question to their initial question is what? Can you prove he doesn't exist? And guess what the answer is across the board? No. No. You can't prove there is no God. You can't prove it. So, let's look at Romans 1 one more time. I got in a little trouble, guys, for some of the images I showed you. A little trouble, just tiny bit of trouble. Well, you know, there are, and we want to be right and we want to be protected. We don't want to expose ourselves to lawsuits or anything. So, I had a misunderstanding of what's known as a slight misunderstanding of what's known as the fair.
Seriously?
Images and things of the like. So, that's why you didn't have any today, because I had some for you today. But you got to work this out first. Anyway, Romans. But I hope you guys have been getting something out of science in the Bible. Okay, first off, let's establish that the Bible says no one is seeking God. So you can't use that as a barometer for his existence. Because the Bible, no one's seen him. No man has seen God. The Bible says it numerous times. Here, though, in Romans 1, let's just go over this verse again. I think we can end on this note. Let's look at verse 16. Let's start with 16 instead of 18. For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God to salvation. For everyone who what? Believes. Watch this. For the Jew first, also for the Greek. Or we could say also for the Gentile. Jew first, then the Greek, then the Gentile. For in it the righteousness of God. For in what? The gospel. For in it being the gospel, what the righteousness of God is revealed. Let's talk about this word, revealed. What does reveal mean? So some of you believe that something that's revealed was first concealed? Something that was hidden? The Greek, watch this. The Greek word for revealed is apocalypto. Well, you guys say, whoa, but just think about it for a second. Revealed, reveal, revelation. Which is the book of Apocalypse, in the end of all things. Greek word for revealed here is apocalypto. Here's what it means. And this is why when we hear the word apocalypse, we get scared, we get frightened. Oh my gosh, fire, death, aliens, nanobites. The machines are taking over. Biological warfare. Nanobots, I'm sorry, not bites. But guess what reveal means, or apocalypse, apocalypto, reveal, revelation, means to take off the cover. So those of you who said reveal, watch this, has to do with something that was first concealed.
Right.
It was concealed, now it's exposed. It's revealed. In other words, the cover has been taken off, it's been disclosed.
Yes, that's good.
First it was closed, but now it's no longer. Watch this, to uncover, to lay open what has been veiled or covered up. And that's what we're doing with the hidden agenda. We're exposing, we're revealing, we're disclosing. But watch this. This is what the Bible was saying about the righteousness of God. The righteousness of God was concealed, but by way of the gospel is now revealed, to make bare, to make known. Okay? From faith to faith, as it is written, what? The just shall live by faith. Now look at this. Look at verse 18. For the wrath of God is revealed. Okay, the righteousness of God has been revealed by way of the gospel. Now, look at what it says in verse 18. The wrath of God is what? Revealed. Same Greek word. What does it mean? It's been uncovered. It's been disclosed. It's been shown, made manifest. The wrath of God is revealed from where? From heaven against, watch this, all ungodliness and all unrighteousness. Righteousness has been revealed by way of the gospel. Unrighteousness will be targeted by the wrath of God, which has now been revealed. And unrighteousness of men who suppress the truth in unrighteousness. All right, now we have this word suppress. If you're suppressing something, if you're a suppressor of truth, what does that mean? Oh, wait, what are you doing? Those who suppress have it, they're holding it, and watch this, they're retaining it, they're seizing it, they're holding fast to it. They're holding back, is what the Greek means. To restrain, hinder the course or progress of. Hinder the course or progress of. Suppression. This will be a nice segue into racism. Because it means what? To restrain or hinder the course or hinder the progress of. Literally, it means that which hinders the Antichrist from making his appearance. That's a little scary. Men of unrighteousness and those of ungodliness literally, and this could be by actions or by knowledge, it could be whether they realize it or not, but they're hiding the Antichrist. Now think about this. There will be an Antichrist. The Bible says the son of perdition, the man of sin. He one day will be revealed. But John, over I believe in 2nd or 3rd John talked about the spirit of Antichrist. Now there have been those who have said, oh man, the Antichrist was Saddam Hussein, Osama bin Laden, Adolf Hitler. Some people call our president the Antichrist. But watch this. He hasn't been revealed yet. However, what does anti mean? Against. So anything that is against Christ is antichrist. Anyone that pushes an agenda that goes against Christ is pushing an antichrist agenda. They're against. That's what suppress means. Watch this. Suppressing the truth and unrighteousness. Here it is. We read it earlier in the lesson. We'll read it again. Because what may be known of God is. Watch this. It says that they may know something of God. Watch this. They may not. It doesn't matter though, because it is manifest in them. Watch this. Whether they know it or not, it is in them. It's made manifest in them. For God has... Okay, watch this now. So, all right. So is it possible that you're looking at 1.61803398887? What may be known of God is manifest in them or manifest to them because God has shown it to them. You realize it's possible that for God to show you something and it's possible for you not to see what he's shown you. It's right before your eyes. Here we go, verse 20. For since the creation of the world, his invisible attributes are what? Clearly seen, understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead. This is what I want us to look at. Since the creation of the world, his invisible attributes are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made. In other words, creation glorifies God. So I
keep doing that.
Spirit-filled believers interceding right now.
Being
Standing in the gap for those around us we don't know the Spirit.